So
Yeah.
joining us today here in Nova Lab Studios in downtown is Louisa Sharamatyan. Louisa, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's been like what, like 10, 15 minutes you've been here, but like we've already been cracking up and going.
We've been acquainted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Do you have that with people like are you one of those people that like once you meet anyone, like when you're talking with them, it's like as if you've known this person
Yeah,
for like a good amount of time?
totally. I can just connect with everyone, and I think that's good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, but I think for what you do though, like for your like kind of what
Yeah.
you've been doing with on camera stuff,
Yeah.
that's critical.
It's easy for me to find something to talk about with someone. I feel like we're all humans and everyone has something to say. So for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Have you always been that way?
Yeah. I'm not shy. I'm not a shy person. I feel like when I walk in, I can make people feel comfortable, and then when they see me like that, then they start feeling
Yeah.
comfortable and they're more chill throughout their day.
Yeah, that makes sense. So right now you just started culinary school, right? Like what, 2 or 3
Yes.
weeks ago?
One what was it last week? We started, had though we had to take a 2-week break. Oh, is it okay if I like throw
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Armenian words?
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
do that a
I
lot.
do that too accidentally. It's okay. No worries.
So we had a 2-week gap and we actually started again on the 8th, which was
Okay.
like what's today?
The 8th, like
Saturday?
September 8th?
Yeah, like a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, because I remember because when
Yeah.
we reached out, you're like, we did this, we scheduled it
Yeah.
now because like I'm just starting culinary. So you ended
Yeah.
up having to take
A
off.
break.
Oh,
Yeah, there was some issues
jeez.
and stuff, so we started again and man,
And you
it's
guys are wearing masks. I've seen
we
your
wear
videos.
masks. We wear that thick chef jacket, which is it's hard to like adjust to. It's just a lot. Culinary school, especially for me, because I'm not like that much of a cook yet.
Hmm.
So the transition of waking up every day, I graduated college years ago. So for me, everyday school, 12 to 4 p.m. It's a new thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
is Monday through Friday, 12
Monday
to
to
4?
Friday, 12 to 4 o'clock. You have to be there at least by 11:30
Really?
because the chef wants you by your table 11:45. It's intense for someone who doesn't have that much background in cooking.
Where is this? Where's the school?
Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be like Cordon Bleu, and
And
then
then they went out of
yeah,
business
so
or
this
whatever.
kind of bought them out. It's called
Oh, okay.
Institute of Culinary Education.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called ICE.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, ICE. Yeah, yeah.
So okay. So you've been doing that pretty much like a weekish, 2 weeks
Yeah,
ish.
2
So
weeks old.
before that, for people that may not know, you were on. Well, you've done a bunch of stuff, and you're doing a bunch of stuff. You're
Yeah, yeah. All
you're
over the
not just
place.
sitting around.
Nope.
Off top of my head, I can name you. You just launched a YouTube channel.
Yes.
You have done worst bakers in America,
Yes.
and are you doing or is it done the worst
We
cooks in
wrapped
America?
worst cooks.
Has that been shown yet?
Yeah.
Oh, it's already shown.
Yeah,
Okay.
early July of this year.
Oh, okay.
And no, end of June it premiered, wrapped up beginning of August. Yeah.
What was the so you did worst baker was first, right? So
Yes.
what was the time period between you doing that one and then you doing the next one?
So I did Worst Bakers last year.
Okay.
And then a few months after, the producers reached out to me again and said, we want you to come back on Worst Cooks. And if you're available, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, I am. And it was very quick. It was overnight, really. I had 3 days to pack everything. We filmed earlier this year.
Mhm.
I can't really say the
Mhm.
dates a lot because we're under still contracts and
Sure.
stuff. There's a lot of information I can't share, but it was quick. It was like 5-6 months after. So we wrapped Worst Bakers, and then the opportunity came, and I was ready for it, and it just happened.
So the premise of those shows is you have how many people start off?
12 to 14.
Okay, for both of them it's the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
So you have 12 to 14 people that come and apparently, well, you have no experience in it or you have experience
We
and you
like
suck
to
at
think
it.
that. The whole point is, we're not good bakers, we're not good cooks, and we want to prove to ourselves that we can learn.
Mhm.
We go to the mega place, which is Food Network, to learn something from two top chefs. And every week we have challenges. And basically, whoever improves stays. Whoever doesn't improve gets eliminated.
And the judges determine that or is it
The
like fan
judges.
vote or something?
So before the finale, everything's the judges.
Uh-huh.
There's usually two judges. It's mainly Anne Burrell, the
Mhm,
blonde
mhm.
hair, and then this year, with my luck, because I love her, it was Alex
Mhm.
Guarnacelli, Iron Chef,
Mhm.
and I ended up being on her team.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, it was amazing. But for the finale, 3 different judges get to be the judge of the 3-course meal that you make, and that's if you make it to the finale.
Right.
Before that, every week it's those two. It's whoever the guest judges, and then Anne Burrell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy thinking about that because I'm thinking it's like what if I ended up on like a show like that? I'm like, what the hell am I doing here?
It's funny, like to be on TV like that, I always say this, you have to be so comfortable with who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be authentic because the TV, the camera picks up everything. If you're there, you can't filter anything. Like you have to, I always say, don't think about what to say what you're thinking. Just let it out. Yeah.
Ha-
Kind of like this,
yeah.
like a podcast.
Like, have you ever like? Did you watch them when they launched, or were you one of those people that like I can't watch myself when I'm?
Oh
on-"
no, I
Yeah,
watch
okay.
myself.
I mean, for you, because you're on camera a lot. We'll talk about the other stuff
I
you
love
do too.
it.
So
I
yeah.
love it. I feel comfortable. I love watching myself because that's how I critique myself. I'm a big
Mhm.
critic of
Yeah.
myself, which is not always the best, but I'm sure like you too or whoever, like you watch it, you replace something, you're like, you know what? I want to fix this, or moving forward, I won't do that. But no, I watch it and then I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Like
Yeah.
what was that? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I'm the same way. Like I'll watch. I end up watching at least once out of necessity because now what we do is when we put it on YouTube, we timestamp it. So like for example, if from the beginning until like the 5 minute mark, we're talking about cars. Then I'll
Yeah.
put like cars.
Yeah.
So then because it's this
Cars.
one's gonna be like about an hour, but like we have some that have gone 2 hours, for example,
Yeah.
right? So for like a viewer, like you click, you're like, holy crap, 2 hours. You might be like, okay, that's too long, and I'm out.
Yeah.
But if you see maybe there's like chapters, then you'd be
Of
like, okay, this is
course.
what this one's. So yeah, so we
Yeah.
approach that way. But okay, so going
Yep.
back to the show, so
Mhm.
what was the process for you then to even end up getting on there? The
For
first one,
Worst
for
Bakers?
Baker, yeah.
So
Because the other one you said they called you
Yeah.
after, right?
Yeah.
So they probably liked you. They're like, okay, this girl's funny, bubbly. Let's bring her back.
Yeah. So before Worst Bakers, I was at that time I was a host on AfterBuzz TV. So that's a network studio. It's owned by Maria Menounos and her husband Kevin Undergaro. You know Maria Menounos. I mean,
Who is
she's
that?
Greek, beautiful. She used to be a television host on E News,
Oh,
Access.
I probably know her face, maybe
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
name.
you know her. And then so they launched that a few years ago, and it's a place for hosts to kind of go and network, and we do after shows. So basically if you're a fan of any TV show, let's say Friends or whatever, we basically watch an episode in the studio and break it down for our
Oh,
fans.
that's cool.
Yeah, and the fans join in on YouTube and Twitter. So it's like very interactive. So I was hosting there, and then my friend there, Drew, I love her. She's a casting producer. She's like, hey, Louisa, there's this funny show called Worst Bakers in America. I'm casting it. I think, you will be hilarious. I know you don't cook. I know you don't bake. Because it's the truth. Like, I didn't. I'm Armenian.
Like at all?
My mom does it. She still does it. I mean, now I own the kitchen, please. I have every right to. But I did, but like nothing major. I'm not going to lie. Like kashtama and stuff. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
So she's like, I want to send in your stuff. So she sent in my stuff, and then I had a Skype session with one of the producers, and then they liked me, and then they sent my stuff up to the network, and then the network liked me, and then that's it. It was just kind of one person to another. And then once they said, it's greenlit, it's happening, it kind of got real. It was like, okay, we're flying you out to New York. You'll be here. You can't tell anyone. And even when we were there, it's very strict. We can't leave like the hotel where we are as a group. We can't go and explore New York or whatnot. No one can even know what show we're doing. Even months after we film, like we can't talk about it until it's aired.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the process for Worst Bakers. And then Worst Cooks came along a few months after with a phone call. She called me and she's like, we're going through the creative casting now. There's been a few creative changes. We want to bring you on. And yeah, it happened.
That's so you already had the quarantine experience before.
It's
before
funny you
quarantine
said that.
started.
I was telling my friend today this morning too. I already was quarantining
Yeah.
before quarantine, ever happened. And now when production starts again late October, especially with the Food Network, because one of my friends, she's gonna be on the show. She said that she has to quarantine in the hotel for 2 weeks before actually going on set. So I think that's gonna be the new Hollywood now. Just everyone would have to quarantine, and then so
Yeah,
it's
it's
tough.
tough.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
it's hard.
Okay, so prior to all this, you went to Cal State LA, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and you did sociology.
Sociology, focused in law and society. I was having like a mid-20s, life crisis. Like, what am I going to do with my
Uh
life? I'm getting my degree in sociology, go to law school, and I enrolled in Kaplan to help with the LSAT
mm-hmm.
test. I swear I'm not joking. 2 hours in, I left. I'm like, is he child? Like, like, this is not me. Like, I was gonna die. I was gonna shoot myself.
So you
Like,
did 4 years of school. You do 4 years of school, then you go 2 hours into the LSAT prep. You're like, I'm out.
No, no. Well, before college, I interned at CBS at
Okay.
Entertainment Tonight while I was still at GCC.
Mm-hmm.
I interned to get a taste of Hollywood and entertainment, and I loved it. But I told myself, I'm like, you know what? Get your plan B out of the way, get your degree, have some kind of secure thing so you'll fall back on. So I left the industry and I went to CSULA and I got my degree. And yeah, after Kaplan, after realizing I don't want law school, I said just go into HR, like see what you can do, talk to people,
You have
and
the personality for it, I
for
would say.
HR,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, HR is like a
Well,
people
some
thing.
HR, yeah, some HR people, it's like, have you ever watched The Office?
Hell yes!
Okay,
Oh
so
my god,
like
yes!
some people are like Toby. They're just like dry, very yeah. It's like I've had HR people that are like that. And it's like, aren't you guys like supposed to be like the people?
Yeah.
It's like you're this. Blech.
I met Toby. I interviewed him in real life.
It's a nice perk to have what you do.
Yeah, I have a picture with him. I'll show you.
Sick. What was his name?
Something. Okay.
Paul Lieberstein.
Yes.
There we go.
So wait. So I was at Cal State LA. Oh yeah. So to work in HR, yeah. So I not enrolled. I called a temp agency to like get work after college, and then they placed me at. That's so funny. They placed me. They did place me at Deluxe Media.
Mm-hmm. I had an interview there.
What? No way. When?
I think sometime in 2018. Actually, I had a few because I was interviewing there for finance. My buddy works there now too.
No way.
Because when I was watching you on Wise Nuts, I saw you mention. I'm like, oh yeah, my buddy works there.
What's his name?
His name's Aram. But when did you work there?
So 2015, 16-ish.
Until
20. No, I started 2015. I want to say, and I left 2017.
Did he start by then? He may have started after you, or you were like leaving when he was coming.
Is he in H-Way now or Empire? Because
Empire.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
He's still there, huh? That's great
so.
because I know they had a lot of layoffs.
That's why I was like, I'm
Good
not
for
gonna.
him.
That's why I was like, I'm not gonna go through with this place because
Yeah.
even back then they were still having some issues.
Yeah.
And like the stuff I was reading, because since I'm on the finance and I was reading some of that stuff, I'm like,
Lord,
yeah,
finance.
I don't know about this. So
God bless your heart. I don't know how you do finance. Oh my god, I would die. Like numbers is not my thing.
It's just always kind of been mine, yeah. No, I mean with like again your like personality type, it'd be a waste to be in the office.
Right.
I was reading that thing on Medium, you're like, I'm not like for office.
Oh
it's
God,
not my
no!
thing.
I am not an 8 to 5 person. Like in a cubicle. Like in that interview, I said I felt like it was suicide to your soul. Like I could not, and I have so much like creative juices, and my mind is always just like a butterfly everywhere. I'm like I can't do that. So like when Deluxe happened, by the way, it's funny because I was in HR. So if I was there, I probably handled your friend's paperwork. Maybe. I mean, if I see him.
It's possible.
But yeah, so I started off in HR, HR assistant on Empire, and I do that for a few months, and then I move into the localization department, which is dubbing and subtitling. So all the movies that come from everywhere, my department would take it and add subtitles or like translate it to different languages. But I was the training coordinator. Like I'm not technical, so I would just like book appointments and stuff. And then like there came a time like in the last few months before I quit I told myself, I said, that's it. Life's too short. You know you love entertainment. You know you love TV. I love film. I love media. I love soundtracks. Like movies are my thing, you know? I said, I'm quitting. I'm quitting and I'm going to rekindle all my old connections that I had in my early 20s when I was at CBS and see what happens. And I told my mom and dad, and you know how Armenian parents are. Like,
Just on them.
you know, no,
Yeah.
no, actually, thankfully, no, my parents are not like that. Thank God. But they just said, if this is what you want, and they knew I had it in me, do it. We'll support you, and it's been a journey until now.
So the CBS internship,
Yeah,
that did you just simply apply and just get it?
that one. It's so funny when they say who you know. It's who you know.
It's 100%.
It's who you know. My friend knew the stage manager and asked him and said, I have a friend who wants to dip her feet into the industry and see what she can do. And he said, okay, you know, send over her credentials as far as school and stuff. Because you do have to be in school to be an internship. And that's it. It was easier. It doesn't sound that easy, but like for that time it kind of was. Now it's changing where but I always say this, maintain your relationships, garden them, water them. That's what it is. That's a big chunk. It's your work ethic and the relationships.
Yeah, I absolutely agree because
Yeah.
I've mentioned it before. Like during school, for example, I knew people that they just went to school and then left, and then they're like, "Let me just get the hell out of here." Like
Yeah.
they didn't really utilize any of like the networking stuff or anything like that. Or even at work, there's places I've worked too where they'll have networking events or they have like those clubs even
Yeah.
within group, like this group of people, like this group or that group, whatever.
Armenian club.
Stuff like that, yeah. And for like I haven't worked in Armenian populated areas yet, so I haven't quite had that. But yeah, like we had like I think there was like a well I don't know there was different ones. For example, when I worked at Goodyear, and then
Oh,
stuff like
Goodyear, the tire company? Oh, nice. Were you
Yeah.
selling tires?
no, I was in finance there
that's
too. No, that's honestly it's a fair guess though, because like
I think
no one's like I was actually working at their headquarters, but like
good
who's
for you.
but like who's gonna guess that, right? I've had who was I think I was telling a family member. They're like, dude, you're selling tires. They're like, didn't you go to college? I'm like, I'm not selling tires. I'm working at the actual headquarters.
that there's a corporate
Yeah,
level to things that
yeah.
operate.
No, but it's fair, like because Goodyear like immediately like tires, like
and
so it's like
Firestone is
what?
tires.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, but it's
yeah.
like you're not gonna. What else are you gonna think that the person's
That's
doing? It's like,
so
oh, you sell
funny.
tires. It's
Even
like,
if you did, I'm sure you would be a great
I
tire
would be a
salesman.
terrible salesman.
No, you're good. I can tell you have good rapport with people.
If I know what the thing is, like if I because I worked at a bank, so that was my biggest
too.
fear. Which bank did you work at?
Citibank.
Which one? If it ended up being the same one, that's hilarious.
Brand and Monterey.
Oh, you were at the crappy one.
Wait, you were at Citibank?
Yeah, I was at the one in front of the bougie Mickey D's.
Hold up, Lexington?
No, Milford and Central.
You know Roseanne? Branch manager and Ara?
Oh, that's the other one. That's the other one on Central.
Wow.
There's two on Central. I don't know why, but there's two on Central.
Yeah, there is two on Central. No, there's Lexington and Central. There's a
Wait, was it Aura at Brand?
Ara was Monterey and Brand. Ida
Yeah.
was Ida, and then it was Ara. Roseanne was at your Milford one for years.
Oh, then it was probably after me. Before me then.
Familiar.
Yeah, because
Oh my God!
there's the one on Central by Ralph's.
Formica.
Central and Stalker.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
that one. There's the one on Central Milford. That's where I worked. I was there from 2013 to 15.
Oh no, I was there 2009 and 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, working there, that's where like my
Yeah.
biggest fear going into it is like I don't know, I don't talk to people.
Yeah.
Like not that I'm shy. Like if I know you, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I'm like I don't care. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. So that was my biggest fear. Like how am I gonna sell stuff? But then thankfully working there
Of
opened that
course.
up because like you have to. Otherwise, you're not gonna be working here
You
much
gotta
longer.
be thrown in with the sharks.
Yeah.
That's the only way you learn.
Yeah. So to go back on something you were saying, so you said when you graduated, you're like, okay, let me go back and like use my network.
Yeah.
And kind of what I was touching on before is I think that's it's not a thing that's done enough. I think especially for again people that are younger moving up, but networking is applicable throughout, but even more so when you're younger, when you don't even have the network to
Of
try and
course.
establish it and use it.
Yeah.
How are you able to like maintain it? I think I'm assuming part of it is your personality. But what else do you think helps
You
with
know,
you?
I feel like, and I always say this, I feel like my mind is older for my age.
Mm.
I've always had this weird wisdom where I can see things from afar. Like if I meet someone, and I love hanging out with people like who are older than me because I feel like they have so much life experience.
Hmm.
So being at the bank, I learned a lot of that too because a lot of my clients and customers were older people, and I love to talk, as you can tell. So when they came to do a deposit, we would talk for hours or like 20 minutes
Yeah,
per transaction, but not wires. I don't do wires. I would just do straight deposits because wires were hard.
wires sucked.
I
I
hate
did them.
wires.
I was the merchant. I dealt with like the the people that did the annoying stuff.
That's so funny. But yeah, I just learned a lot from them, and they would always give me advice. Like when you meet someone and if you feel like they're a person of quality, don't let them go.
Hmm.
So every few months I would text people, I would say, "How are you? How can, what's happening in your life?" Just to keep that friendship. But when I graduated and I said, "Okay, you need to like rekindle," I would be very honest. I would say, "Hey, you know what? This is my goal in my life. I know that you have experience in this lane. How can I add value to your company now? Whether it's for free, because I worked a lot for free, and a lot of people don't understand that in the industry. I think
You have
any
to.
any line of work, especially to exchange for content, like I would cover a lot of red carpets for free just so I could interview people, understand how the red carpet hustle is. But yeah, you have to say, I want to add value to your company. Can I come shadow you? What can I do just to, help you out? And then after a while, you just kind of get into the hang of it.
And the reason it's like that is because there are people like you that are gonna that want to be in that space so much that they're willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
So that's why it's if there's a person wondering, well, what the hell? Why do I have to work for free? Like I'm actually out there, I'm doing this red carpet stuff and all that. It's like, well, it's because there's so many people that want to do that they're willing to go do it for free.
Oh,
So you have to be
absolutely.
willing to take that gamble of okay, I might have to go whatever. I might have to cover 5, 6 events not getting paid
Yeah.
to hopefully get paid. And then
But
you don't even know if it'll happen.
those are the events that I met those main
Mhm.
people. Like the people at Netflix or whatnot. Like one thing led to another, led to another. And then that's how you learn how to deal with people. And no one's gonna pay you out front when you're like not established
Mhm.
yet. They have to see how you're going to cut your teeth in the industry,
Yep.
how you're going to understand what to do. And I always say this, if you're in Hollywood or if you want to be in the industry, you have to have side hustles.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to, like, I was a freelancer for a long time. Of course, I still have that Armenian cushion where I live at home. I'm not going to lie. Without my parents' support, I don't think I could have done it. But I know a lot of people who have to pay rent.
Mhm.
Their parents are back home somewhere, Midwest or New York or whatever. They have to, be waitresses, and there's all these things they have to do. So much respect for them to make ends meet so then they can go on their auditions and stuff. So you have to be a freelancer and have side hustles to pay your bills and afford to do your free things. It's a mindset. It's not overnight. I always say that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you do like I mentioned earlier, you do a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
You're
thank you.
not you're not doing just culinary school. Like I
Oh
mentioned all the
no.
other stuff too. So
Mm-mm.
let's touch on the channel real quick. That
Yeah.
you recently launched the YouTube channel,
I launched Louisa Cooks
which I think is
because
by the way a great idea. I think it's very
oh
smart with this, especially what you're doing. Because I think there's gonna be a lot of people. Like I watched the newest one you put, the your
ki-
mom's salad.
yeah.
So and I told you this it was one if the reason you're watching the video is like, okay, how do I make the salad? You
Yeah.
cover that,
Yeah.
and it's pretty. I think it's done in a way where you can follow it. Like me again, I don't cook. I was able to
Yeah.
follow it, but then you add humor. Like you throw in your mom there. Like you guys are talking off camera, or then your mom shows up, but you put like a thing on her face because she doesn't want to be on camera, and then you have like the funny music in between and all that. So I think that kind of shows your entertainment industry experience when it comes to. I'm sure you probably have you contribute to like okay, I want it to be like this, like
Oh,
that.
I am
So
when it comes to editing, I swear my editor probably wants to kill me sometimes. I'm so cutimas.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that means like really
yeah.
picky. Like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to post production and editing, and sometimes that's not good because it'll take forever.
There's that.
The back and forth, like, no, fix that, don't, do that. But I don't edit. Thank God I have such an amazing team. My editor is so amazing. Shout out to Magdalena. You are my angel. She's a pro. I mean, she edits Hollywood films and Hollywood portfolio reels for like actors and like legit people. So I think in life you get what you paid for.
Mm.
You get what you pay for. And if you want something that's good quality, you have to go to a good team, and that's what I wanted. She brings out my quirkiness because she edits down hours of footage to 7 minutes.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, that's
That's
the
the
other thing. Yep.
art. And then she adds in everything. And then I have my camera guy, Jason, whom I met working on fabtv.com, which I still work for, freelance red carpet stuff. I met him there, and then he comes to my house all day, and we do it, and then he eats. So I
It's a
introduced
good
him to
reward.
to Armenian food.
It's funny with Armenian food, like whenever it's someone that isn't even just to the region, let's not say just Armenian, like
Yeah.
not Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
where there's similarities. When they eat it, they're like, "Whoa, my gosh, this is." I feel like that's the response a lot of the time. Where like, "Wow," like they
Yeah.
want to go to whatever Rafi Scotto. So it's like, if you
Yeah.
like this, imagine if you eat it at home.
home cooked. I know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we don't have a lot of Middle Eastern restaurants. Like, okay, Carousel, Rafi's, which we love. Maybe two more I can't even think about now, but we need it, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and I on my podcast, I don't know, I did another podcast recently from my friend. She just launched it.
Was it like very recent? Because I think I remember you
Dear
posted.
Food.
Yes. I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
that,
we did that earlier. I think we
It
did
was
that
a couple weeks ago. Well, at least you posted. I think
we
a couple
we
weeks
did
ago.
that like a month and a half ago.
Oh,
And she
okay.
just recently posted
Got
it.
it.
But we talked about Middle Eastern food and
Mhm.
how it's still so general. Like, it's this big umbrella where it falls under Lebanese and Greek and all these things, where there's only a few plates that are really Armenian, and I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, if we say hummus and stuff, we think it's Armenian, but like technically
In reality, it's not.
it's not. Hadisa is Armenian. Dolma
I
is
do
Ar- you know
I don't
you-
think dolma's Armenian.
Dolma's
I
Armenian.
don't
No,
think
dude,
it is.
Dolma's
I think
Armenian.
isn't it Greek?
No, it's Armenian.
Because there was because I went to school in Ohio, and then I went
Whoa,
to
you did?
yeah, and then and my school was like in a rural area. It was like a college town. Okay,
Wow. So you had that experience.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
yeah, it's awesome.
I wish
So
I
there
had
was a
that.
Kroger there, which is Ralph's.
Oh yeah, Kroger.
So I went to Kroger. This was like in the beginning. So this is around 2015 ish that I went to this Kroger,
Mhm.
and then like I was like, let me go look at the parts where they have the food and whatever. I go says it's spelled Dolma, dolma. I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell? And I'm looking at it, but it's like the vegetarian version. It has like the rice bun.
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, whatever. Let me try. It's actually pretty good. My point being with that is, I don't think Kroger in Ohio is gonna have an Armenian food.
Yeah, I
so
know.
I mean, it might be. I don't know, but
No, I did my research because even for the Food Network, they wanted me to make something Armenian. Both times. With Worst Bakers, I made paklava, which is
that's
still-
Armenian.
Well, for my audition tape, I made gata, which is Armenian.
Yes.
But then for my first meal challenge on camera, it was paklava. You know,
I would imagine that's not an easy one.
hard. Well, they
Yeah.
want it to be hard because
Mm.
that's what's entertaining. If it's easy, then it's not gonna make good TV. You know. But with the dolma, which I say dolma, by the way, I don't say dolma. I hate dolma, but
Which
you-
one is there? One that's
you
right
know-
or wrong?
You know what? I think it's to your own preference.
I used to say dolma, and then everyone around me saying dolma. I'm like, fine, I'll do
It's
dolma.
dolma, but it's Armenian. I did my research. I'll send you some stuff to prove
Yeah,
it.
okay.
But like back in the day, you know, in Armenia, when everything started, like I know it's Armenian. So and harissa, you know harissa.
I've heard it, but describe it. What is that
It's
one?
like thick porridge with
Oh,
wheat. Like
yeah,
garas
yeah.
vochkardanes
Isn't that halim?
Halim?
Isn't that maybe that's the other?
I don't know halim.
I thought it's what you're describing.
Are you
is that
Berutsi or
No.
Hayastansi? You're Hayastansi?
I know that.
Hayanadars. Okay.
It's too many
Because
too
I don't
many
even
versions.
know.
There's so
I'm
many,
born
yeah.
here and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because what you just described sounds like that. So you
With
made
shredded,
that.
No, I didn't. No,
Oh.
it was either my choice was harissa or dolma, something that's kind of authentically Armenian.
Yeah,
Because I could have done kebabs and stuff, but
it's not really.
it's not really Armenian. You know, it's Middle Eastern.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how'd that go then for you making dolma? Because that's also time consuming.
You should watch the episode. You
I don't have
should.
cable. Is it on
Well,
YouTube?
You can watch it on Hulu TV. No,
I have Hulu.
Hulu.
I have Hulu.
YouTube TV, Amazon, and then oh, the Food Network app. You have iPhone, Chad.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
download
I
the.
have Android, but yeah.
What? Oh my god!
I just cracked it the
Who
other day.
uses
First
that
time.
now? Really?
Hefe outside uses it too, and the other guy uses it. You're in the minority here today.
What?
Yeah, we have 3 Android to
I have
2
these
iPhones.
two and my little attached charger. Wait, so you don't like iPhones, huh? Why?
I don't. It's funny. Everyone says it's user friendly. I don't find it user friendly.
Wow.
Also, I'm not very good with the tech stuff. But and the other thing with that is like my friends that are into tech. They're like, this is a tech phone. I'm like, this seems
Wow.
easier to me. I don't know.
Are you a slow texter? You're probably a slow texter.
Yeah, I text like a tati. Like you'll see me if I'm on my phone, I'll do it like this sometimes.
Oh my god.
Sometimes I usually text like this, but there are times where
That's hilarious. You crack me up.
it's not. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not good. Like I've had. How long have we had these now? I don't know, like a decade or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like all I know how to do on this is camera,
That's
phone
and
app,
email.
text app. Yeah, that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
This probably does like a million things I
that you
don't even know about.
And obviously, clearly, you don't do social media, so you don't have to worry about.
Used to not, yeah, up until the Instagram for this thing came up. Yeah, and that's a whole other thing. So I mean, so you're on there. So now that you mentioned, let's actually just talk about it. So you're on there. You're, I would say, pretty effective with it. You post you post a lot of stories. Not necessarily. Well, you post the pictures and stuff too, but the stories. So for someone again like you that as an on-air personality, you're now have like a channel where you want to put out cooking videos and you've done TV stuff.
Yeah.
How do you, I guess, how do you take advantage of first being on TV with a channel like Food Network and then parlaying it into now this is me.
Yeah.
I'm not Food Network now. This is just Louisa.
Yeah.
So now how do you take that away, separate it, and build it out like that?
You know, I use both, like to grow my name and to get my exposure. See, with Food Network, all of the clips that I am in, all the time codes that I'm in, I send that all to my editor, and she cuts them out.
You posted.
So I post a lot. Like sometimes it's a lot. It can be redundant or whatever. But you know what? Someone who's very savvy with social media told me one day, who cares? Just do it. That's what it's there for. Because sometimes I know social media can be a lot. It is. Like we post a lot. We're always on our phone. It's like a sickness. And I used to be a social media manager. That was my hustle during the Hollywood days. Well, it still is sometimes, but I don't need to take that many clients now because I'm really busy. But I would manage pages. I would know how to grow. I would know how to engage and all of that. So it's kind of natural for me. But yeah, to grow my name after Food Network, I use a lot of my clips, which I still do now, and I push out the content like that so people can see and repost, whether they think it's funny or whatnot. And then how to grow my name is like if I post a video, I always link it to my story and I do the swipe up. Like if I'm posting something like my mom's episode with me, I'll post teasers and then I'll put the YouTube link in the IG story and, so people can swipe up. But also now I'm considering putting it on IGTV. Because, IGTV is like roughly like 10 minutes.
Something like that, right? Yeah.
So my videos are like 6 to 7 minutes. So I want to start kind of using that platform. But yeah, documenting everything and just being authentic with my story. I mean, I didn't know I was going to launch a channel. My chef told me, Chef Alex Cornicelli, I call her my mentor, because we talk sometimes and she gives me a lot of advice. When I left the episode, when I got eliminated, she came up to me and she's like, you need to go home and start cooking. Do not give up. She's like, put your mom in it. People love culture.
That's awesome.
People love stories. People love Middle Eastern food. So she's the one who kind of told me to do it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ride with that. So I came home and I'm like, Mom, we're doing it. It's the universe, Was
your mom like, I don't, was she like, I don't want to do it, you do it? Or was she like, fine?
My mom's super busy. We have a daycare for kids.
Oh, that's right. I think I saw you post this somewhere,
called Hayastan Daycare.
Yeah.
And we've had it for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in Glendale, and we don't advertise much because everything has been word of mouth. We've been there for so long.
That's the best.
It's always like someone's cousin, sisters, nephew. They all eat. That's how how business is. But I told my mom that I want to do it, and I wanted her to be with me cooking. But she's like, no, I don't want to be on camera yet.
She even says it in the video.
Oh yeah. And then now that she saw that she has a few appearances with like her head like covered, she's like, I'll say it go now. We should be on the call. I'm like, Mom, I don't know. She just put you in there. But it's funny with her.
It is.
Like I've been getting feedback that you should put your mom in more. I'm like, I'm trying, but I don't know.
I mean, honestly, even if the extent she's comfortable is what it is now, I still think it's funny like that though. Like especially, I found it funnier with the fact that she's not even on the screen. Like it's just like that like Armo mom like Hayati's going like, no, this that. It's like because that's what you hear. It's like you're watching the video. The video's you, and then you just hear from the back, like you just see you're looking like over there now because your mom's like yelling from the back, like no, do this or whatever. I found that way funnier like that.
It's funny because I've been having some funny moments on there and not even trying. Like I didn't know that lemon thing was gonna break,
Oh
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
the ton. Did you watch the Chikif that one?
I didn't see that one.
That one's like the first one. Well, I
Yeah,
only have
that
2
is.
episodes for
You have
now.
your trailer, you have that one, and now you have
Yeah.
the most
So
recent one.
I push it out with the teaser trailer.
Mhm.
And then like I want to find sponsors now actually to sponsor the videos.
It'd be a
So
good
it'll be
idea for
easier.
sponsors.
Yeah, it has really good views. It has a lot of good engagement. It's
For
just
only 3 videos, like each one, you have several thousand views.
yeah, and I feel like my Instagram helps me with that. A lot of people repost it, and then even with the Food Network, my Armenian community has really, really supported me. Like they support me so much. I
Mhm.
love them. They always post and they reshare, and I love it. I think I'm so blessed in that area.
Yeah, I think you touched on it when you were on Wise Nuts, but there's obviously pros and cons with the
Oh, please.
Armenians dealing
Yes.
with each other. We don't need to get into the cons.
I
but-
love how you're fixing your comments. Sorry.
I don't want my eyes to tell the story there.
I know you're so funny.
But
I know.
that's one of the obviously. I mean, if you're Armenian, you know the pro. I'm sure again other ethnicities do this too.
Yeah.
But you just, especially being a small group of people compared to others.
Yes.
Whenever someone, again, I think Arno was mentioning it when he was talking to you. He's like, the fact that we have an Armenian that was on something like that is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it's and that's always the reaction. Any
Yeah.
Armenian does something that seems to us like, it's only for these people do that or that, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you see an Armenian, it's like, holy crap. Because it's like
Yeah.
there's so few of us. And then everyone's just so proud whenever someone achieves something like that.
Of course.
So I think that's why you see that too.
And with me, especially with the Food Network, they really welcomed my culture, my diversity. They loved my last name. They never said change it. They never said chop it. I've had a producer in my career say change it to Shar, like Louisa Shar.
I mean, that's why you'll see some people that
It'll be easier, sure. It might be catchier, and I did that for 2 months. I'm not joking, and I switched back. Like one of my emails is still Louisa Shar. Hedo Louisa with the Z. I grew up with that name, but my legal name's Louisa with the S. By the way,
was your email with the Z?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
okay.
2 emails. I know it's so
okay.
confusing. I'm a Gemini, so everything is 2.
I don't know anything about astrology.
Zodiac.
So, okay.
Well, Gemini is like split personality.
Is it really?
Kinda. I'm not gonna, justify it, but sometimes. But growing up, it was Louisa, but my legal name on everything, social security, birth certificate, it's all Louisa with the S.
Mhm.
So when I started doing all these legit productions and networking stuff, it would always come in the way where it's like, oh, your ID is Louisa, but you spell it Louisa. Like, what is it? I'm like, you know what? Make everything cohesive. Let's go to your legal name, Louisa Sharamatyan.
How do your parents say your name?
Luluk.
Oh, not even close.
My
to
dad says Louisique.
So the Z. He says Z, not
Louisique.
Z. Okay.
Luluk. My mom says Lulu. Professionally, it's like Louisa.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, they never said change anything. But I did have a producer, and I see a lot of Armenians doing that, sometimes changing it. Because maybe a fear of being too ethnic or because of the pronunciation. But for me, it's like, learn how to use it. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my name. And it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. And so far, it's going well.
Yeah. I mean, I knew of someone that was Armenian, was entering acting, and changed the name entirely. Not just the last.
Oh,
didn't
wow.
shorten it. First and last name, changed it to just like a more like a more palatable, I don't know, whatever the word would be, like just more
fluid.
easier to say. Yeah.
More fluid.
It's like it went from like Armenian to like Wisconsin, like completely. I'm like, geez, dude. Like,
No, see that, I just feel like back in the day, maybe it was not necessary. I'm not going to say that. It just now I feel like the industry has a thirst for diversity. They want that. They want the Middle Eastern stories. And I feel like, I always say this with the Kardashians being entered in the industry over like over 10 years now or even more. They kind of opened up avenues. They did, whether you love them or not. They did do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's even something that can be disputed. You can.
It is what it is.
I don't care for them personally, but at the same time, it'd be ignorant and just just inaccurate
of course
to say no, they haven't done it. Like, again, whether you like or dislike them, how many people were even aware of
absolutely
what Armenia was? Unfortunately, I think I've had people where they asked and I said that they're like, what is, not even where, but what is
yeah
what
oh
is
my
it?
God,
Not even
that's
where. It's
brutal.
like,
What is it? Yeah
it's like,
yeah So there's always the positive and negative of everything that you look at, So, but yeah, they welcomed me, and that motivates me more, and I really feel like with my hard work and culinary school and all of that, I will hopefully be the next either judge or Armenian media food person on the Food
So
Network.
that's the goal currently,
Hmm.
to eventually get
That's
to
one
that.
of that's one of my goals. I can't say I want to be a chef yet. I'm not gonna lie. Chef, I don't take that word lightly. That's a very, very powerful prestige word.
Mhm.
I right now I'm a student. I'm learning everything. I'm learning the foundation to really have the confidence to make my own recipes. Like I want to be a savvy cook with a Middle Eastern niche. You
Mhm.
know what I say niche, but people say niche, so
What
whatever.
is?
I'll
Yeah,
say
I say
niche.
niche. I don't know
Good,
either.
good. 'Cause last time I was saying niche, no one knew what that was. I'm not gonna say niche.
I thought it was niche.
It is niche.
Okay then.
So yeah, but chef, if you want to be a chef, there's levels to that.
Hmm.
Kitchen work, like there's just so much. But to graduate school, I do have to work 200 hours in a kitchen, by the way,
Okay.
which I'm actually very excited about. It's called the externship.
Mhm.
So a restaurant of my choice. So, but that's like end of May, so I don't have to worry about that now.
21.
21. It's 8 months. It's not that
Oh, the
long.
school is 8 months.
Just
Oh,
eight
okay.
months. Yeah. So that's the goal. And to put Middle Eastern food on the map. I
Mhm.
feel like God chose this for me to tell a story about my culture and being Armenian through food. I didn't choose food. I chose me. I'm telling you, like it's funny, but that's just how it happened.
Did you pick like an upset on your Atam Hatik?
That's so funny. What did I pick? I should ask my mom. I don't know what I picked.
I don't know what I picked
Oh
either.
my god, you don't know? I would love to know. Oh
Yeah, I
my
have no
god, I
idea.
don't remember. What did I pick? I had
That'd be
to.
funny if you did that. Then, like, I picked up a fork or something. If that
Yeah,
was it. I
yeah.
always wonder
I
too.
could
Like,
call my mom and
I was
ask.
talking to someone the other day. I'm like, how do they decide which ones to put?
No,
I guess it's
so
like we're like, okay, which ones do we want them to pick?
honestly,
And then they
like
just throw it on the floor.
there's a lot of like fun like vendors, bakeries now, or women or whoever it is, bakeries that they make the chocolate stuff
Mhm.
out of it. They have the thing. What's that thing? Lawyers.
Gavel.
Exactly. Industrious use. Don't comment.
Yeah.
And then we have the book. We have like a pen.
Mhm.
We have cash, right? The Janshum Chapelik thing.
Mhm.
We have all of that. So, and I'm sure there's a fork there too. I don't know what I picked. That's funny.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know what that
I'll
was.
find out from my mom and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess what we're realizing is like again, you do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I do.
So I guess to go to that, how do you effectively? Because obviously you strike me as someone that regardless of what you're doing, like you're not gonna half-ass it, and you don't want it to. You don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
So how do you find yourself being able to? Obviously, you don't do all of them at the same time. You do a lot of things,
Yeah.
but whenever it does come to it, you have like maybe 3 or 4 of them at the same time. How are you able to effectively manage your time so that each thing has
Yeah.
an appropriate amount of time given to it?
That's hard. It's very hard. Sometimes like I like to put my mind into different compartments.
Mhm.
Where it's like if it's 12 to 4 it's school, or if it's 5 to 7 it's a sit down with my editor. I like to block out my time and turn off my phone.
Hmm.
Because if I don't turn off my phone, I'm going to be on Instagram, I'm going to check DMs, and like hours is gone. It's very hard if I don't plan my day. And I'll be honest, I'm not the most organized person. I'm not. Like my mind can be everywhere.
Mhm.
I'm also an extremist where I have no middle. It's high or low. So that's why I chose culinary school, because I'm a perfectionist. I said, if I want this, I'm going in 100, no half-assing. Like I go hard. Like that's how it is. I can't cuz I have to hold myself accountable. I knew if I went to school, every day we will be learning different things. We're at home. I was not going to sit down and YouTube it,
Mm.
And my mom doesn't have the time to teach me, and her ways are not the correct way. It's her Armenian
Yeah.
way. Like I want to learn up to par, like the standards of how to do it. But yeah, having no life. No, I'm joking. But really, a lot of hours dedicating. Parties you miss. I'm not that into parties. I feel like I really was early 20s. I really don't care for it now. Now it's like building my empire of who Louisa is and my future. but missing out on a lot of things. I think being selfish with yourself in a healthy way, where it's like, if this is what you want to do, you have to put all your eggs in this basket right now and focus. Whether it's not going on that vacation, whether it's skipping this, skipping that, but your mind has to be ready to take it all in and being organized, and that's something that I'm still working on. And I did learn focus on one thing at a time. So now
Mm.
this food thing fell in my lap. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let this go. I'm gonna try to milk it and take every opportunity from it. But that doesn't mean Hollywood's on stop. I love film. I love TV and movies. So if I get a gig to cover a red carpet on Sunday, I'll still do it.
Mm.
I'll just won't sleep at night. I'll do my homework at night to wake up and do it. You know? It's
What is
hard.
homework for culinary school?
Chopping at home and reading. A lot of reading material. Serve safe is basically the right way of cooking. That's what it's called, serve safe. So we take serve safe tests where we have to get a certificate. How much degrees can a meat be in the, I don't know, refrigerator? Where can you place the sushi, or like all these things? Like, it's very technical.
Mm.
And it's a lot of chemistry, which I'm actually seeing. I'm like, what is this? Like, a lot of numbers. It's a lot of reading. Yeah. And chopping at home. You have to do the work at home, basically.
How when you're doing the work at home, do they like give you guys try making this, or is it like you're just go do
You have to
something?
do it. Like with school, you go in the morning, you watch a serve safe video on how to keep the restaurant clean, or you know, how to wash a knife properly and stuff.
Mhm.
The chef shows you a demo of how to do it. You go next to your partner, you cook, and then you go and you present it to him, and he gives you feedback. That's basically culinary school.
Hmm.
Of course, you can ask a lot of questions. You can come in after hours for more one-on-one, but you have to at home. You have to go home and you have to practice. Nothing is gonna come from culinary school unless you do the work.
Yeah, especially something like that where
Oh
it's not like I can just read about it. Obviously, it's like
no,
if you can't put it into practice, this is like
yeah,
the profession where you need to use your hands literally.
no. I asked my chef the other day, Chef Alex. Because we talk a lot, and I'm like, okay, I'm really intimidated of some of the students. They know how to cook. You can tell, like, they even brought up cooking. She's like, don't even say that. She's like, go home every day, get a red bell pepper,
Mhm.
slice it in half, and cut those into the prettiest pieces as you can. She's like, I promise you, if you do that once a day or twice a day, you're gonna see like zerkatonska
Mm.
you know?
Yeah, I think that's good advice.
Practice.
I gotta be honest though, like I mean, when I watched that salad one, it didn't seem like you're someone that has no idea what you're doing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like when I see like my mom doing it, I'm sure your mom's the same way. Like they're
Yeah.
just going, like they're just
Yeah.
chopping it immediately. So,
Yeah.
but because you're on a show that's called The Worst.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it looks like you're that clunky at it.
You know, I don't know. It's like God's grace. It's weird. I feel like that He chose me for this role, and now I'm trying to live up to it. Like, and my mom says, like, whenever I make something at home, asma like zerki tama lavna, which
Mm.
means like whether I try or whether I half-ass or do it, it's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's like, nersat ka, just work on it. I'm like, it's funny how life just did this thing where it's cooking now, so I have to just go with it. You know, it's crazy.
Have you been recording any new ones for your channel?
Oh my God, I've been so busy. No. And I have a lot of people asking me. I can't.
Sovats and meron.
I
Sovats
know,
meron.
right?
Make something people want to eat.
You know, it's so funny. Arnold from Wise Nuts. It's so funny. He saw that one with the salad
Mhm.
one. He's such a wise nut or smart ass, I like to say. He commented, he's like, try not adding a lot of kale next time, so we'll actually get them. Like, shut up, Arnold. I mean, no, it was Arnold, not Arnold.
There
But
you go.
you know, a lot of people have been asking me, and
I mean, that's good.
I want to, and I don't know if I want to keep it all Middle Eastern, because I don't. Like, it's not a Middle Eastern channel.
Yeah.
It's Louisa Cooks,
Mhm.
but I do want Middle Eastern food to be like kind of most of it, but not
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
Just so everyone else can watch it and enjoy, you know?
When's the Khash episode coming out?
It's funny you say that. First, it's gonna be sujuk and then khash. You know
Really?
sujuk?
Yeah.
My mom and dad make that every year.
Really?
Yeah. My dad loves to put it in the grinder
Mhm.
and put it in the
The
case.
casein.
So I did that. You have to watch my episode.
You know what that is, right?
Intestines.
yeah,
Disgusting.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah,
Is it okay to move?
yeah.
Ugh.
Just bring this with you.
Okay. I forgot. Okay, good.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, it
Um.
moves in every direction. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
this is
bionic
great.
arm.
It's
Yeah,
flexible.
yeah.
But yeah, my final episode before I got eliminated, we had to make raw sausage on Food Network. You have to watch the episodes. Oh my god! After this, you have to watch
It's on
it.
Prime. If I have Amazon Prime, I can watch it.
Probably Prime or just download. Well, no, you have Android.
They have apps on these.
You have okay. Do they?
It's not like flip phone old.
Download the Food Network app and
Okay.
watch it. I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
so
send
you'll,
it to me.
yeah.
Send it to me. I'll watch
So we make raw sausage. Everything's raw, like the meat chook and everything.
Mm.
And in my mind, because I had seen my mom and dad make it during Christmas time, I kind of had an idea of how to do it. So I'm like, oh my God, I can nail this. I actually made the sausage really well. I just didn't season it enough. And that's why I got eliminated. But
that was the episode you got eliminated.
yeah, but that's the episode that Chef Alex told me you're not giving up. This is in you and you can do this. And I've been just riding that wave.
So since you've done two of those,
Yeah.
you've dealt with approximately, excluding yourself, like 22-ish, 23 other contestants, right?
Yes.
Are most of them like good, or are somewhere like, oh man, this guy or this chick?
You mean like
The actual
as
contestants.
far as my castmates? It's
Yeah.
funny. We're like family.
All of them.
So worst cooks more because I was there longer.
Oh, okay.
Worst bakers, oh my God, I'm not a baker at all. I got eliminated pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of measurements in baking, a lot of numbers.
Yep.
Mm.
So you're putting like 1.5 instead of half.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Cooking, you can be more creative. Baking, I think you have to be just really strict with the ingredients. And just for me personally, I'm sure there's so many amazing bakers who are so good they can be creative, but that's not me. But with worst bakers, I do talk to the castmates a lot, but not as much as worst cooks. Worst cooks, like we have a group chat. We want to plan a reunion next year in New York. You're with these people for weeks. That morning till night, that's who you see. You film for like 10 to 12 hours.
A day?
Yeah,
Wow.
you go to the hotel, you eat dinner, and you sleep. So it's like morning to night, so it's like you're a family.
Was there any point during that where you're like, oh, can I just get out of here? Or are you so into it and enjoying it so much
No,
where
man,
you're like, no?
I live for this shit. I'm sorry. I want to say it.
No, that's fine.
Is that bad?
No, not at all.
I'm sure
That's
there's
fine.
like worse words on here.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that.
I love it. I eat it. I breathe it. It's my life. I crave it. I love the rush I have when there's, like for cooking shows, I can't talk too much about it, but you have cameras in front of you when you're cooking. You have like the medical people there, like the first aid people there if something happens. You have the producers there and you have this 10 people, all these cameras. But like you just have to love it. If you don't love it, you can't do it. I love it. There was times where I was tired because I'm not used to cooking that much. And you can't talk to anyone. You can call your parents maybe twice a day, but they take your phones and your laptop.
It's that strict. Jesus, it's like a little prison.
Yeah, because it has to be like real. It's reality TV. It technically is. And I remember for Worst Cooks this year, when I was chosen to go, I hate saying this, but it's the day Kobe Bryant and those amazing people crashed.
That was when they called you to go, or that's when you were supposed to go?
That was my flight that night.
Oh.
And I was hosting a gala that day too. So I hosted a gala with, do you know Maher Baghdasaryan? He's an Armenian television host.
Maybe by face.
Yeah, so we were hosting a gala that day for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society to raise funds because I host galas and I MC sometimes. And I remember I wrapped up at 11 p.m. and then my dad took me to LAX and it was a late flight. It was 2 a.m. and I was like already in New York that day. But that's the day the crash happened. I remember when I went to New York, in my mind, I'm like, this is still fresh because I think, him dying really affected everyone. I don't know how much of a sports fan you are or were, but like I remember going there, but I told myself you can't feel any emotion now. You gotta block the shit out, like you have to go. And I'm not kidding you. The whole time I was there, every morning I woke up with a Kobe Bryant podcast or YouTube video saying, what would Kobe do? He would execute. And I really feel like he helped me get far in the competition. Maybe that's cheesy.
Whatever works.
But it worked. And I remember because I hadn't processed anything yet, I came back to the hotel, I think after the third episode, and I started crying because I'm like, did this really happen? Like everything happened so fast,
Yeah.
But I used it. I used it for my advantage,
Yeah.
But you have to love it. If you don't love it, you can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, the other thing to factor is like that's not mentally easy to do that.
Mm-mm.
Because you're only getting a couple of calls to only your family. Your phone's not with you. You can't
Yeah.
even leave at least to be like, well, let me go like down the block and nope, you
No.
can't even do that.
They'll
So that's
send you
that's
home.
yeah, that's a lot of as much as you and obviously enjoying it helps, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's still times where it's like, oh, man, I just want to like see the sun for a second. Let me go out, feel some kind of something outside.
Yeah, and I think it's how badly do you want it?
Mm.
It's a mindset. It's a competition show. A lot of people would hang out downstairs and like have a drink and stuff at the bar. Me, knowing myself, I would go upstairs early. I would do my face mask. I would read.
Now, at least you have like a little routine
I
that
have
probably
a
helps.
routine. I
Yeah.
would FaceTime just a bit my nephew. My God, I love him. I have two nephews, like my life.
Mhm.
And then I would just go to sleep because I know call time was 6 a.m. So
Dang.
as a female, if that's your call time, 2 hours before that is your call time, hair and makeup. So I was up at 4 a.m. and think about it, like LA time. So like for me, that's like what, one,
Mm.
two, like everything was like
Yeah.
clock, But once you're there, once the lights are on, it's game time.
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do something like that. Probably not. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd be
You're
like, nah.
sticking to numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
You're great though. You're such a great interviewer. You're
Oh,
in
I
the
appreciate it.
moment. You're just, it's great.
I mean, like we were talking about it before we started, rolling. That's the whole goal of it is like you just if all it should just be like we're talking and just
Yeah.
by just for whatever reason there's a microphone and cameras over there.
I mean, yeah, I forgot about these.
There
Like,
you
there
go.
you go.
I mean,
Hi.
and for you too, it's probably like that natural too at
Yeah.
this point because you've been doing it for the amount of time that you have. So it's like I'm just another day. Like I'm just having another conversation.
Yeah, and like right now, technically you're my camera. Like I'm
Yeah,
looking at you, but
yeah,
you're my friend. So
yeah.
it's like I always say this. If you're on camera, you have to befriend the camera. Like who is your viewer? You know what I mean?
That's a good way to look
Yeah,
at
like
it.
I'm your friend, you're my viewer, and we're just talking like humans.
That's a nice way to look at it. I definitely wasn't thinking that. Like
Really?
no, I was like, it's just there, and then I'm just talking to whoever's
So no,
listening.
that's your friend. It's a viewer.
Mm.
Give it a name.
I probably can't do that. That's probably past my
Froggy.
scope. I mean, I have this guy, so it should be good enough. Okay, we're almost up on time, so let
Hurry,
me
good,
ask
perfect.
you one last thing. So, you've done all this stuff. You've obviously, been able to parlay a lot of what you've done to other things and
Yeah.
maintain your relationships and do all of these things on the side while also adding on to it. Doing culinary school, which you'll be done in a few months. So, given all that, even though you've been as successful as you have been, what whenever you've had periods of difficulty, like what's something that some things that happened in whatever detail you want to get into that you were able to overcome and how were you able to do it?
Oh wow. Let's see. I think feeling that emotion. A lot of people don't feel it. Like whenever I felt fear or whether I didn't book a job or heartbreak or whatever it
Mhm.
is that happens in life, you got to feel it. I think
Mm.
a lot of people ignore the emotion and then they don't know how to handle it. But if it's like work wise, being in the industry, if it's a hardship like that, I would always like kind of take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Like, luckily I'm blessed. I live at home, I have my family. I'm not doing this alone. And what do you want in life? I would always write down everything, the pros and cons. I would say, okay, this is probably a stumble in the road, but look at all the stuff you've done. I till this day, I still do it. I always say, never feel insecure because you can a lot in the industry, and it's sometimes hard to have that
Mhm.
confidence. But I would always tell myself, whatever is your passion, whatever is your God given, like, passion, whatever the universe, or you can have a God, you can have, everyone is different. Like for me, it's Jesus, of course. He is always in my heart and he has gotten me through so many difficult things in my life. But it's always having that faith and knowing you are where you're supposed to be. I think that's what gets me through difficult, hard times. Like if I'm experiencing this setback right now, there's a reason. There's so many jobs I didn't get because the Food Network was happening. I remember 2 months before I got the call for no 2 months before I met my friend who cast me on or put me through the thing for Worst Bakers, I really I auditioned for this big thing. It didn't work out. I was kind of upset, but I knew something else was coming. So I always think is persistency. Be consistent. If this is not what you want, or if it is what you want, you have to make that choice, and you have to be selfish with your time. Life is so short. Like if you want something, you sometimes have to put stuff on hold. Whether sometimes it can be your personal life, or it's some kind of career goal that you wanted to do. I really feel like you have to have that focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a tough industry. But
it's probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest, what you're in.
Build thick skin. I always say, build your thick skin. Take good and bad criticism. Get a part-time job to pay your bills, and go at it. Go at it and be selfish with your time. Be selfish with your time. Not everyone deserves your energy. I'm very thing on that. Like
100%.
If I vibe with you, it's because I like you and I like your flow. But I can't be like this with everyone and expect to have the same back.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Yeah, again, I think it was either in the beginning or right before we started. We were mentioning like you're very very energetic.
Yeah.
So, but again, very energetic means you're using energy.
Yeah.
So there's only so much of it you can do. So if you're with someone that's not gonna have that and give it back to you, it's like, one, why would I give it, and why would I give it to you? And two, it's like I don't even have that much to give around. Like you already deal with so many people. It's like you specifically.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a lot of people throughout the day, doing all these different things. Like you'll gas out immediately.
It's a gas tank. He might give you some, like my energy. Now I'm gonna go and film this documentary after this, based on just Armenia and stuff, which is gonna be fun. But I need to kind of get my
reset and then
drink my coffee, go, and then it's a lot. It's a lot. But you have to just, especially with culinary school in my week now, a lot of things are left to the weekend.
Yeah. So. Well, you're obviously handling your time very well because, again, like I said, I think it's very clear that you're on a very good trajectory.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. So best of luck to you on that. We're all of us here are monitoring and seeing what you're doing, and it's like Arno said, like we're obviously, especially within the community, whenever we see someone like that taking off, doing something like that, we're all very happy about it. So I don't doubt that you can get to what you've mentioned your goal was. I'm sure you can get it. The personality is 100% there. It's just a matter of getting the actual skill of that stuff, and then yourself, and I'm sure you can get that too. So
thank you.
I'm sure we'll see you there at some point.
Thank you, Menua.
Of course, you got it.
I nailed it.
Yeah, you did. Where can people find you? If your YouTube, your Instagram, whatever, where can people reach you?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Louisa Sharamatyan, and then on YouTube at Louisa Cooks. I am on Twitter, not that active, but it's Lou Sharamatyan because the characters are not long enough to fill everything. That's my last name. Yeah. But I kept my last name, but my first name is Lou, Lou Sharamatyan.
You got it. We'll put that stuff on the bottom too. Thanks again very much. And
wait.
Oh yeah,
watch my food show on the Food Network app, Hulu TV, and Amazon.
Worst Bakers in America.
Worst Bakers in America and Worst Cooks in America.
Okay. Yeah. If you get me those links, I'll throw them in there.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do it.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Louisa.
Thank you.